Assalamualaikum and salam sejahtera. Today, me and my teams would like to present Airborne Microplastic in Terengganu, Malaysia. First of all, I would like to introduce the team member. First is me, AINAA FARHANAH, and the second one is ADNIN RANIA. For the topic, we found that the problem is to quantify and characterize airborne microplastic in the coastal area of Terengganu, measured throughout ground-based sampling. For the information, it was used to determine the present abundance and ca- characterize of airborne microplastic. So for this topic, the data we utilize and use to access pollution status, sources, and potential risk of microplastic in the atmosphere, which is were used by researchers and environmental authorities. Next is the role of the atmosphere in the microplastic pollution. In the sample analysis must be accurate and precise to provide a valuable insight. Then the sample analysis will consider the route planning to ensure efficient and effective data collection, which is the analysis could consult with the client to plan a useful and efficiently analysis, including obtain a representative sample. Next, for method, in this airborne microplastic in Terengganu, Malaysia, we're using three types of sample method, which is firstly passive sampling method, ADR, FDIR analysis method, SEM-EDS analysis method. For the size is 0.7 micrometer pore size and 47 millimeter diameter. For the sample preparation, it was prepared by using a glass petri dish containing glass microfiber filter paper. For the concentration and range, the concentration of airborne microplastic range from 576 to 5 to 15,562 particles per meter square per day. For selectivity needed, it shows with a various colors such as transparent or white, black, green, orange, and purple, predominantly in fiber shape. For the cost, it shows that it is a cost effective. For accuracy, the precision of sample preparation relies on hand counting and stereo microscopic color and shape identification. For this method also, we're using a manual speed. Next, the tool is required to like a stereo microscope, ATR, FDIR, SEM-EDS. And for the automated, it's not really automated because with the result obtained within a day. Next is expertise, which is this method was expertise in microscopy and spectroscopy technique for availability in chemical literature and standard method. Standard method for airborne microplastic analysis are available in the chemical literature. For representative sample, it shows two kinds of representative sample, which is firstly homogeneity in the experiment were ensured by using passive sampling method with glass petri dishes and glass microfiber filter at all sampling sites, which is allowing for simultaneous sampling to capture spatial variability. Next, it's involved by collecting triplicate sample over a 24 hours period at the height of transformator to prevent contamination, followed by careful transfer of filter for further laboratory analysis. For sample analysis, the study did focusing solely on solid microplastic particles collecting from the atmosphere. Chemical separation or masking was not explicitly mentioned in the document provided. For adjust solution condition, need to adjust solution condition as the sample were chemically identified using Fourier transform infrared spectroscopy coupled with attenuated total reflectance, which is known as ADR.
Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So moving on, I am going to present about the chemical separations. So basically, in this article, it doesn't mention any types of separation in the article, but chemical separations are usually required for the purpose of characterizing and quantifying airborne microplastics, particularly those found in coastal regions such as Terengganu, Malaysia. So basically, what I researched is the main objective is to separate microplastics from other kinds of debris and other sorts of particles that were gathered from the air samples. These are the common chemical separations, which is filtration, density separation, and of course chemical digestion. And there's other types of separation, which is the physical separations. It is also essential for characterizing and quantifying airborne microplastics. Example of physical separations is are sedimentation and sieving. Okay, next, as for measurements, we found that the measurements were taken throughout the study to measure the size of microplastic particles found on filter paper. So, chemical identification of microplastics particles has been performed using the FTIR, which is the Fourier transfer infrared spectroscopy, which can detect particles as small as 6 micrometer. So the hot needle test is measured using a household pin composed of stainless steel to verify microplastic representatives. So before using the FTIR, the particles melt in a response to a high temperature needle and exhibit substantial bend or curl behavior. Okay, moving on to the results and the reports. So, the research on air microplastic deposition near Terengganu's coastal areas found that microplastic deposition rates varied between sampling sites. The investigation confirmed that the existence of airborne microplastic in all studied locations, underlining the importance of atmospheric transport and deposition of microplastics. So, basically, this is what we found from the article. So the first one is statistical analysis. So to access the deposition rates of microplastic in air samples in coastal locations, statistical analysis were carried out using R and XL stat. So the validity of the statistical analysis utilized to make inferences regarding atmospheric microplastic deposition in the study area was the main focus of the investigation. So the next one is the limitations accuracy information. So the research on the atmospheric deposition of microplastic near Terengganu schools provided results with limitations and accurate information. So the study focused on particles as small as 6 micrometer and used the FTIR for chemical identification in addition to size measurements of microplastic particles. Okay, that is all from me and Aina Farhana for our presentation. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.